Is it time to sell your Bitcoin? Now might be one of the best times to sell a portion of your Bitcoin. Now I'll give you a little bit about what my plan was here and what I actually did. So I'm in a Bitcoin. My average in price is around $6,634. So my price point entry is different than, of course, new people, but people that have even been there for a long time. So what I had set up, figuring it's going to go to around 150K this year, my first price point was around 91 to 95,000. Well, I saw the rally going, I saw it continue, and then I changed my first sale price point to be over 100,000. So my average sale here of a third of my Bitcoin is 104,500. So that was just my decision. Now it's running, and it's running solidly as we see here. It's going over 106 and it's struggling to stay over 106 right now. And it's getting a little tired. So there's a couple of different options. As you see here, it hit around 106.5, close to 106.5, and it could get up to that 108. It's going to try to push its way up to 108. But at that point, we may have a pretty sizable correction because we haven't had that Bitcoin correction yet. It, got over 100, went to 103 and change, then went down to 92. It was a really quick crash down to 92 before rebounding back up to the upper 90s and then bouncing at around 100, called 98 to 104K here over the past couple of weeks. But it is getting tired. It is starting to strain. So we could have a nice sizable correction that could drop Bitcoin into the 80s, as low as the lower 80s, but likely it would be such a quick hit and come right back up that you better have your sell orders ready to go if that's the case. We will see where it ends up ultimately going here, but it's going to bounce around and chop here for a little bit before hopefully getting to around that 108K number. And again, I'm not banking on getting to 108. It may get tired. Or the second possibility is that it goes and runs through it. We have a Santa Claus rally and it goes through to 120 plus K, because next target will be 120 to 130. And let's take a look at that and see about this potential Santa Claus rally here. So some Bitcoin traders now target 120K as the bullish Santa Claus rally gains steam. And this could happen, right? This is another possible thing. But just know that if that does happen, we're going to have an even larger downturn in Bitcoin. And of course, when you have a big Bitcoin downturn, you have an altcoin downturn. They should bounce back very, very quickly as well. Right now, what we have, if you look at the bubbles, we have very few cryptos, altcoins doing well. We have Virtual, we have Hype, Rune, Hondo, Link, and Sui. And very few. Phantom, there's just not many up. So what's happening right now is Bitcoin is sucking all of the liquidity out of the market. And with that, it's becoming more, Bitcoin dominance is increasing greatly here. So right now at 106, a little over, almost 106,100. So it's running very, very nicely here. Look, it could get its way. You see it chopping here, got up to 106.5 and then bounced back down. It's going to try to get to that 108. Just know that it could turn. And I have already sold a portion of mine here. I'm not counting on the Santa Claus rally. It can happen, but here's what my plans are. So I sold a good portion, a third of it. And then what I'm doing is putting sell orders now in the 85, 86,000 K range of Bitcoin. So should it have that shock and drop down there, I'm now going to buy back more Bitcoin because of what I sold it at 104.5. So I'm going to have more Bitcoin before. Now I'm trying to turn into more. This is a little bit of a trading exercise, but it's just a possibility, right? If not, I just sit there and cash and hold that. And that's a part of my cash out. As I told you, if you don't sell your cryptos, if you don't have exit strategies, you're going to end up round tripping your bags. And by round tripping your bags means you're going to wait till the next cycle, which could happen, could take 3.5, 4 years. You never know. These cycles are generally 4-year cycles. So it could be down for a very long period of time, like the last cycle was. We were 3.5 years down. Bitcoin went up and down a little bit and a couple other alts bounced. But for the most part, the altcoins lost 90 to 95% of the value. Bitcoin lost 70 to 80% of its value, somewhere in that range, 70 something. This can be a little bit different. So Bitcoin may only retrace 40 to 50 this next cycle. So know and understand that. The altcoins will still correct as normal, probably lose 90 to 95%, most of them, where some of them that have, ETFs like Ethereum, maybe XRP gets it, maybe Cardano gets it, maybe Solana gets an ETF. So if these do, they will retrace far less, right? They might only retrace 60, 70% in the bear market. No one understand that, but have exit strategies to get out. Because right now I'm telling you what I did. Doesn't mean you have to do the same, but it's always good to have these exit strategies because we don't know where the market's taking us next. It could bounce. It could turn to the downside. Who knows? The Fed is reducing rates again, as we expect, and then they're talking a bit hawkishly, like they may not do it again next year, or they have to. Look, honestly, they have to. They painted themselves into a corner. They've got to continue to cut because all the central banks around the world are cutting. And we can't change it. We can't make the dollar so strong that everybody else is so weak. It's just not good. It doesn't help anybody. That helps us in the short term, but it does not help us in the long term. So know and understand that as well, and have an exit strategy. Work your altcoin exit strategy. If you bought in during that bear market, start exiting when you get to the points where you're comfortable with and want to take some profits. And never forget, never be fearful about taking profits. It's been my biggest mistakes over the last 3 cycles here that I've been in, and it won't continue in this cycle. I'm making sure I take my profits, and it starts with Bitcoin. And I'm not hoping for a Bitcoin downturn, but I'm ready for, if it does downturn, I'm ready to buy back in and hopefully get more Bitcoin and take advantage of the cycle and try to maximize my profits because I want to at least 4x my cryptos this cycle, preferably up to 10 and above, right? There's some that are going to way outperform, maybe 10, 20x, and some are going to underperform, maybe be 1, 2, 3x. I will take that, right? And you want to average out if you at least quadruple and hopefully 10 times your bags. It's a very successful cycle. And then you cash out, put in cash. Unfortunately, you have to pay taxes on that. But be ready to invest back in as the market goes down and prepare again for the next cycle. You want to be buying in that bear market, dollar cost averaging in, trying to get a nice average price point so that when the next bull market comes again, you are ready to do the same thing you did this market. All right, guys, hopefully you got something out of this. Make sure you click like on and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notifications for when I do go live to give you updates. Catch you in the next video.